People have also speculated that he's dating Jennifer Garner again and like trying to make that work.
Yeah.
But I'm like, let the man live. He's tired.
No, he does not need to go back to Jennifer. He literally just got out of going back to J-Lo. He needs to not go back to any more of his exes. He needs to just move on. Move forward. How dare you talk about Ben Affleck? We're only supposed to be ripping apart women in the press, Andy.
And I apologized. You beast.
You beast.
It's the Pop Report.
So juicy.
Hey, Miss Ma'am.
What's up?
What'd you do this weekend?
Besides,
like, spend all of your loving time with your loving dogs, as I always see.
Lots of family time. Got the dogs all together with their dad and their sister and some of their other... Yeah.
You make it sound like you're like a split family divorce home, like divorce court.
They had visitation with their dad over the weekend. And so we got all the pups back together to all come and play. And yeah.
How does that make you feel? Like your heart, like is like a joyous feeling every time this happens? Or stressful?
Joyous in the sense that like I know they're going to burn so much energy and sleep.
So Papa wants that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that dad isn't doing anything. I'm the one that's providing for them.
You're the one that's giving spousal support. Yeah. And you're wearing your Nelly shirt, which I haven't seen this on the podcast episode yet. Usually I'm used to Nirvana and your Metallica shirts.
I also have others as well. I have quite a genre range.
Are they at Target?
No, they're usually from Urban Outfitters. I don't think any of them were from Target, actually. This one I actually got from Megan King. She gave this to me. I did a live show in New York last year, and she came on out, and she gave me this one because it's from St. Louis, and that's where she's from, St. Louis.
I was just saying before, so I want a Pizza Planet shirt because Andy from Toy Story, but like that's a whole different like meaning.
Yeah. Well, and I told you they have Pizza Hut shirts at
Pizza Hut,
not
Pizza Planet.
Hut. Pizza Planet.
They have them.
They have them at Target. I've bought them for my brothers.
I am not your brother. Anyway, well, good to hear you had a nice little time with your dogs. And
you had a nice little spa vacation.
Girl, I am like an Amex Platinum. Like, I should be like a service person. How many times I talk about like Amex Platinum? I got a great deal for a hotel. Had a beautiful time. I'm not a Palm Springs person. That has changed from the place I stayed at. I got to sit fat. Like, I haven't had a vacation this entire year where I just sat for a weekend and like didn't have to cook, didn't have to clean. I was like, here's a pool, here's a drink, 98 degrees, and I'm out. Like,
it looked lovely.
The
setting was great. The room was great. I was living vicariously through you.
Oh, thank you. I'll have to bring you on a trip. We'll have to go back to Vegas. I think we're due for a Vegas trip.
Yeah.
That's where we relax and R&R. But otherwise, if you haven't subscribed to the podcast and you want to do that, that's a great time to do so right in this episode. Hit the bell, hit the subscribe button wherever you're listening. Obviously, we have a lot to talk about today, from Taylor to Joe Jonas to Only Murders in the Building, and maybe even
the Bieber baby.
Maybe in a few like baby Bieber updates.
I don't know how many updates we're gonna give, but we got lots of news to cover for sure.
Yeah. So first and foremost, sadly, our first headline is one even like people in my life know who don't read pop culture. It's sad to say that Mariah Carey just shared that her mom and her sister passed away in the same day. So it's obviously hard enough to lose a mother, but to lose your sister in the same day. She put out like a quote about the incident saying, quote, "My heart is broken that I've lost my mother this weekend. Sadly, in a tragic turn of events, my sister lost her life in the same day." So originally we didn't know what the cause of death was, but at least there have been a few updates on what's been going on. But what Mariah Carey has shared, in the past, she did not have a good relationship with her mother or her sister. She did share that she was glad to be able to spend these like last few weeks with her mother, but her mother had been moved to an assisted care facility, which was in Florida like years ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know how often she got to see her. Obviously Mariah's had a busy schedule. She does like entire residencies at times and more. But her sister Allison died in New York State, according to the local media there. So her distance from the two of them, it is a bit far apart. But her mom was 87, and her sister Allison died in hospice at 63 in Greene County, New York. So basically, in this, she had what is described as some organ functions. She is reported to also have struggled with some substance and abuse care. What? What?
Sorry.
I know the word organ functions.
No, I was trying to hold it. Sad stories make me uncomfortable, so I'm like uncomfortably, like nervously laughing and trying to not look at you and listen to you talk because it's
delivering hard news. I know.
Well, because this is actually a sad story. Every time you come in here and we have stories and you're like, this story is so sad. And I'm like, it's not really that sad, but this is like an actual sad story.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine losing both my mother and my sister at the same time on the same day.
Yeah. For those who are big Mariah Carey fans, like this hit because they followed like a lot of the different things that have come out about the two of them. But like she was estranged from her sister, who actually tried to sue Mariah over like her 2020 memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
But like she talked about things like in the book describing her mom as like a neglectful parent. She also said like, her mother was a former opera singer who trained at Juilliard, and she gave, just some life experiences of even her older sister putting her in repeatedly dangerous situations. So in it, she said that her sister tried to give her drugs like at age 12. So very complicated, relationship with the family, it sounds like. But, overall, she said she created some distance between like her sister, but she did share some like small performances with her mom. She did have some significant moments with the two of them. But
yeah, regardless of how close you are, you losing a relative that is your blood relative, like that's still gonna affect you. It's still gonna, weigh on you. And I can't imagine grieving the loss of both at the same time.
So we're thinking of Mariah, obviously a very, very, as she said, heartbreaking thing to come back from. And so we just wish her a very safe and sound year for whatever comes in these last few months.
Yeah.
But we do have other music news going into like this episode. We have a lot of music news. On a bright note and a campy note, did you watch the new Sabrina Carpenter music video?
I did, and it was actually, I enjoyed it.
It was fun.
It was fun because like the song is called Taste, and it's about, I guess, your man cheating on you and you finding him with somebody else. And so the whole music video is Sabrina Carpenter. And then we have Jenna Ortega, who plays the mistress. And we see, these like themes of like devil and angel with Sabrina wearing all white and Jenna Ortega wearing all black throughout the video, and them kind of like fighting over this guy. And then in the end, they make nice.
Yeah, it's a Tarantino reference to the 1992 film Death Becomes Her.
Yeah.
Like the fence.
And she looks like Sabrina Carpenter resembles a young Meryl Streep.
Yeah, which funny, she'll come back in this episode in a minute, Meryl Streep. But yeah, they fight over Rohan Campbell, and like from cutting an arm off to like pushing someone in a pool.
Yeah.
People can't get over Jenna Ortega and Sabrina fighting, and they're both like 5 foot, like playfully.
Yeah.
Sabrina posted like a clip of the two of them together, and it has like over 9 million views. People were just losing it as these two are very known in the last like 2 years, but to be pairing them together was very unique. But yeah, they end up sharing like a kiss, and that's where people just lost it, which I thought this music video is so tastefully done, taste, LOL, because it keeps you wanting to talk about it.
Yeah.
And the scenes are so campy, over the top, and like there are moments you're like, wow, like this is good marketing for the music video. But also people have been talking about it because people do believe it's about Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello. Because the lyrics, heard you got back together.
Yeah.
Like, you'll have me still, the taste on your lips, like all this stuff. So yeah, it does match some of the overall of the dating timeline of Shawn and Camila. Like,
I thought he was gay.
Anyway. But yeah, she described her upcoming album, which also dropped the same time, short and sweet, as the hot older sister of Emails. It's her big girl album, like her second big girl album, she's calling it. But I think after listening to this album, I think it was fun. There was some really interesting like songs on there. I think this was really like her year.
You listened to the whole album?
I listened to it front and back on my way to like Palm Springs. There were some I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
But like, you know, some of them on there are pretty fun. So she's going to begin her Sweet and Sour tour, not short and sweet, you know, like the play on of her album, September 23rd in Columbus before moving to the UK and Europe in 2025.
There we go.
She sold out 33 arena shows in North America.
Listen, she's killing it. Who was I saw like a meme and someone's like, the last time I saw a Disney Channel star have an album this big or that I was excited about, it was when Hilary Duff had her chandelier earrings on and it was the Metamorphosis album and they were showing that and I was like, you know what? Yeah. We haven't had a big, I mean, we've had like Miley and Lindsay, Demi, but I feel like Sabrina's now having her moment.
Yeah, and it's also interesting because Sabrina and Chappell Roan both opened for Taylor, so they were able to use like that.
Wow, and one's a real pop star.
Oh, girl, don't even. She's coming back in our headlines because Haley from Paramore, you know,
yes,
Miss Haley Williams, is backing up what Chappell has to say of wanting her piece. So,
I was like, who the fuck is Haley Williams?
So
now that you explain it, got it. She's
so
Paramore.
The lead singer Paramore. Obviously, we talked about Chappell Roan and her statement, like what she put on socials, which we discussed a little bit of like what people have been saying online. You know, do you really want to be famous? Like, is this the right industry? I think the more people have like responded to it and other artists too, mostly females, have said like she kind of put the marker in before it gets like invasive because at least the theme of discussion that happens is
she's not a real pop star.
Take your opinions. So, like
10 toes down.
The thing is, we've obviously hypersexualized a lot of the girls. We've given like no privacy to the girls. The men get to do whatever they want in the music scene. Like as
they're just
like,
not as interesting.
No, they're not. And
unless they're Shawn Mendes and they have a secret daddy.
You're going on off the rails today. But you know, like I think
what did Haley Williams say?
She said this was important for her to, you know, make a stance on, and like I agree because we don't get to have like our own time in the way that women are objected in the media versus the men.
It's kind of rich coming from Haley Williams, who's not a real. I mean, Paramore was great, and they had listen, and they had a great hit, but I don't know if
you're entitled to your opinions, girl. I was a Haley Williams fan. Like,
please name me 3 good Paramore songs aside from
"Misery Business."
Yeah.
And then Thinking of You, or Not Thinking of You, that's Katy Perry. So sorry. The Only Exception. You don't remember The Only Exception?
You are. Is it called The Only Exception?
Yeah.
You are the only. No, that doesn't sound right.
Okay. You have Hard Times. Still Into You was a bop.
Still Into You is a good one.
Yeah. So
Crush.
So they have some good ones. She was also on Guitar Hero as a playable character. I played as Haley Williams back in the day.
Good for her.
Yeah, she really was like up there in the front women, like Gwen Stefani. Like people recognize and note Haley Williams for
a
iconic,
real
like,
pop star
hair.
That is not complaining. You go, Gwen Stefani.
At first,
stay booked and busy,
girl. At first, I did think like obviously we didn't know what the harassment and stalking that she was mentioning, but I think it was more so to put in my opinion, the stake down before it gets to this level of like how we treated the Christina Aguileras, the Britneys, like obviously.
Oh my God, she should be lucky if she ever became a Britney or a Christina Aguilera.
Girl. But yeah, like overall, it's a lot of these women being like, okay, like we do as we get bigger, we don't get our time, like we get like subjected to all these opinions and people saying mean things online. But I understand like
so does anybody else that puts themselves out there publicly.
Yeah, I just do feel like the women get it more than the men. Like, you know, people asking for Usher's life as much.
Asking for Usher's life what?
Just like wanting to see what he's doing, what he's wearing, what like
the paparazzi are following Usher.
Sometimes.
When he did Confessions, like everybody was so invested in who he was cheating with and his personal life because he opened up to his personal life and he's like, these are my confessions. I cheated on my girlfriend. And that opened up, you know, a big frenzy in the media in terms of like, well, now they wanted to know. When you open up about your life publicly and you benefit from that publicly from the people that, you know, are keeping you afloat, I think she came across as very entitled and very dismissive of her fans and very ungrateful for the opportunities that she continues to still participate in. If you don't want to be famous, then don't go and perform at Lollapalooza.
And you're entitled to your opinion.
I am.
Backing into this music-centric news, we also have Taylor praising Charli xcx's song "Sympathy with a Knife."
Well, isn't that convenient?
Isn't it? Because like
she was blocking Charli on the charts.
Like, it's so wild to look at the timelines of music and who's releasing what at what times, because obviously we recapped how Taylor put out 37 renditions of the Torture Poets Department, and Charli released like the album.
Tortured listener listening to all 37 albums.
Girl, break your back somewhere else. But yeah, like, people thought Sympathy as a Knife was about Taylor because the lyrics of, you know, you're at my boyfriend's show, and it matches the timeline of Maddie Healy and Taylor Swift dating at the time. But, you know, Charli did this New York Magazine interview, and she was talking about her potential more like Brat installments coming up, like more music. But also Taylor leaned in and gave a quote saying like it was just such an impactful like album, her songwriting, her artistry. And so it was as some people are calling it, a very smart way to end a beef, an alleged beef. But it was random, like, in my opinion, like a Taylor quote coming into this profile on Charli xcx.
Definitely random. Definitely convenient considering Taylor doesn't need the charts anymore and Charli's album has already been out long enough that she doesn't need to. I mean, I think it says more when you actively support another woman, because we were just talking about, you know, how tough it is for women in this industry. I think it's better when you're actively supporting other women in this industry when it actually matters. Like when Charli's album is actually out, you could be uplifting her and supporting her amongst many other artists that I don't think, specifically female artists, that I don't think Taylor Swift has been supportive of. So it's convenient when she comes out after the fact, when her reputation is now taking a bit of a bruising because people are accusing her of, you know, hurting Charli xcx on the charts. And now it's more of a save face. I'm asked about it. Let me say something nice rather than let me genuinely support another female artist in this community.
At the same time, she didn't have to put the quote out. It's nice that she's acknowledging her right now, but it's definitely, people have
helping
their thoughts
her reputation.
On like, reputation.
And I like her music. Listen, so they were just playing "Look What You Made Me Do at the Gym" the other day, and I was bopping to it.
Those. I remember when that music video came out,
like,
and I was just glued to a laptop. I'm not gonna lie.
Those were good. That was a good album. I liked that album.
I want to get back to our weird stories and viral videos in a minute after our watch or skip, because we need to come back to Meryl Streep. So Meryl Streep is in season 4 of Only Murders in the Building.
She has a new boyfriend.
Have you watched any of Only Murders in the Building?
No.
Me neither. But like,
but she's in the new season, right?
Correct.
With Martin Short, and people think that they're banging.
Correct.
Yeah.
So everyone keeps watching them like at the carpet, at the events. And everyone just keeps saying they are just friends. Like, you know, they are friends. I don't, was Meryl Streep ever linked to anybody, like, romantically?
I don't know.
Like, it's just weird for me to put, like, Meryl Streep in her career legacy to, like, another person romantically. Like, I'm like, she is iconic, like, Oprah by herself, like, Meryl Streep by herself. Like, I've never seen, like, the headlines be like, who's Meryl Streep dating? And now it's like, we're linking them with Martin Short.
Wow, way to say Meryl Streep is undateable without saying Meryl Streep is undateable.
Don't put those words in my mouth. But like, yeah, the new season is coming out, and they just had a carpet. They also have like some reoccurring people in Only Murders in the Building.
Selena Gomez.
Miss Selena is...
Got to keep an eye out for Selena.
But you also have Jane Lynch still coming back, and you have a couple other roles of people. But would you watch any season now of Only Murders in the Building? Since there's...
It's season 4 that it's too far gone for me at this point. I'm selective. But you know what I do want to watch?
Okay.
The Perfect Couple.
Okay.
It looks so good. I love Nicole Kidman. It looks like a really good show, and it's at the start. It's a new series that's coming out. So have you?
I watched
following?
the trailer and I was like,
that looks good.
It looks good, and the premise is like a rich family is, you know, about to have a wedding and someone dies like on the beach and they're all a suspect.
Mm-hmm.
But it says like you don't really know somebody no matter how close you are, even blood.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting to see Nicole Kidman in a role like this for a while. Like she's good
done
in these
several roles like
but
this.
like it's been a while since we've had her like in a forefront, like mysterious, like when she was in 9 Perfect Strangers.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Like I love her in
9 Perfect Strangers, Big Little Lies. What was the other one
but
she
like
did?
these are every few years. Like it's been a while and I'm like, oh, I love when she's in this. She's good at an ominous, mysterious person.
She just has like that face that she can
That's
play
demure.
that character that's like, I don't know.
I'm like, I want to know who you are, but I've seen who you are.
Yeah. What was the other one she did? There was another murder one that she did with her. Or was it her husband that? I don't remember. Yes. What was that one with Hugh Grant?
I mean,
The Undoing. That was
Oh.
good.
thank you, studio producer Jack.
Thank you, Jack. The Undoing.
I didn't get
Big
to watch
Little
that.
Lies. The one where she was the Gwyneth Paltrow lady.
Yeah. Also, didn't know if you knew this. Okay, rewind. I am gonna watch The Perfect Couple,
Same.
but to give you context on an animated series, didn't know it was gonna be animated. Terminator's getting an animated series.
Dumb.
That's your opinion.
I looked it up and I was like, dumb.
I'm not gonna watch because
That's your opinion.
That's your opinion. But like, range of Netflix, cool. Like, got it. Like animated movies. There's a whole animated department.
Yeah, they want to bring in the furries to come and watch Netflix.
I'm just gonna let you sink in with that statement and see how long you can run with it.
Yeah, I mean, come on. They need some attention. They can't put all their energy on Pornhub.
And you do?
No.
Okay. So that's our watch or skip right now. I feel like we got 2 good ones. I at least like would love to see.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch The Perfect Couple. I'm too far gone with Only Murders in the Building. I'm not gonna start at season 1 and catch up. And Terminator 0 looks dumb to me.
Well, the thing is, like, I am one.
Like X-Men, what was it, X-Men 98?
Mm-hmm.
That looked interesting.
Yeah.
And that, I remember growing up watching X-Men cartoons with my dad as a kid that, like, I haven't watched yet, but that to me would be interesting. Terminator just doesn't hook me.
You know, I'll say this much. I am currently watching Sex and the City.
Oh.
And I haven't seen any of the episodes. And obviously that came out in the 90s. And here I am. It was too far gone. It was not
I've never seen it either. I actually watched maybe 1 or 2 episodes.
I wasn't allowed to watch. Like, we didn't have HBO growing up.
Yeah.
So I know it's iconic. It's supposed to be a gay thing. A woman's, guide to like sex and everything. But I'm like, I need to watch this. And it's very campy and very fun. I don't know if I'll watch And Just Like That though.
Why?
It's done differently from what I've heard, but I love the
it's
campiness of Sex and the City so far.
Yes.
Don't come for me. Leave a comment if you watch it. Leave a review. If you leave a review, we might read it. Might. I'm kidding. Leave it.
No.
Please, we'll read it.
Okay, well, in other news, we're both dog owners.
Yes.
I'm curious what your thoughts are on this Lily Allen thing. So,
okay,
Lily Allen went on her podcast and talked about how, and she kind of like in a joking manner talked about how she had this dog and this dog ended up chewing up her passport. So she ended up rehoming the dog. Okay.
Because of that?
She said that was the final straw, that the dog ate her passport, and she was like, and that was it. This dog ruined my life, so I ended up rehousing the dog.
Okay.
Then reports start picking up on Lily Allen dumps her dog because he chews up her passport. And then PETA jumps in, and PETA gets involved, and PETA starts dragging Lily Allen for this.
PETA Griffin.
And they send her like a toy stuffed dog saying like, here's a dog that you can treat as an accessory because dogs are not actual accessories. And they're dragging her online, right?
Oh my God.
So then she comes out and she claps back and she's like, first of all, you pulled you clipped apart my quotes and made this seem like the dog just ate my passport and I dumped the dog somewhere. She's like, we had the dog for quite some time.
Okay.
We worked with the dog. The dog had really severe anxiety. We would take the dog on, 3 walks per day. We had to hire someone to come and babysit the dog while we were gone because the dog couldn't be left alone for more than 10 minutes. The dog had a number of behavioral issues that we couldn't tend to. So we found another home for the dog, a family friend that we knew, and we ended up, coordinating through the shelter the transition of the dog being ours to the dog going to this other family, because she's like, we just didn't have the ability to take care of this dog or meet this dog's needs.
It's just funny. This is like a headline. It's like, this is what I call silly bitch news. Are we really invested in someone rehoming a dog?
Well, I think the story became sensationalized of she dumped the dog because the dog chewed up her passport. And then the context is, well, I didn't dump my dog, I rehoused my dog. And so PETA's coming at her pretty strong because they're saying, well, the way you told the story on your podcast was basically like laughing about it and saying that fucking dog, chewed your passport and ruined your life. And that's not cool because, rehousing dogs is traumatizing for the dog and blah, blah, blah.
I mean, do you want them to also have the dog in a household that we can't meet the needs for it?
I agree. This is where I'm torn. Like, as a dog owner, like, even for me, there are challenges that I have having 2 dogs, and they're very large dogs. They're puppies, and we're, in an apartment in downtown LA, which
it eats at you and
brings
you can't care
other
for
challenges. It does eat at you. My thing is, it's like, don't make the responsibility if you can't fully commit to it. Because like I said, it's been challenging for me, and rehousing them is just not an option. We make it work and we figure it out. And, that's the commitment that I made. So I don't love when I think people too casually rehouse dogs or give them up because of a couple of behavioral issues rather than working through those issues. I don't know the exact reasoning with Lily Allen and her family, but I don't love that PETA's jumping into this and getting people fired up.
PETA's always like in it and they're like,
I don't like PETA. PETA can fuck off.
PETA can figure it out.
That's my opinion.
I like what you did there. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't know the clip, but she's like, that fucking dog. Like, she probably has fond memories, but she's like, look, like,
it was like in a joking way. She's like, oh, that fucking dog ruined my life. But like, she was laughing about it. And PETA's like, why are you laughing saying fucking dog?
Like, it's also when people do make that decision to rehouse, like, it's such a hard decision to probably come to. It's like, I've tried everything. And the list that you said, at least, it's a very extensive list. And she recognizes, look, I can't care for this dog for what it needs.
Yeah. Hopefully. And from what she updated, the dog's in a much better home.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, that's good. Let's get into our couples corner because we have some news. We have a Bieber baby.
The Bieber baby's here.
Finally here. And I'm sure this baby cannot wait to drink the Hailey Bieber smoothie.
Woo!
He's got a homemade milkshake at home so far.
I feel like it went kind of like, boom, we got a baby. Because I just remember one photo and be like, oh my God, she's pregnant. And then boom, baby's here.
Yeah. It happened fast. Where sometimes, like, when the pregnancies, I feel like, are they still pregnant? But I feel like you're right, had the baby very quickly.
Is that all we know about the baby?
That's all we know is the baby was born.
Did they post a photo? Or
they posted a photo of the little baby's foot, and they're like, the baby's here.
The baby! And that's it.
Yeah.
That's your headline.
And then we have a Ben and J-Lo update.
So, I don't know if you saw this.
What?
Jen, a mutual close source to Ben and Jen or someone told People magazine that apparently Jennifer never wanted a divorce.
Yeah.
And so she is the type of person to work through things and that she was not willing to give up. But
well, that's rich considering the long string of relationships she's had that have failed.
And that's your opinion.
No, that's a fact.
So it's just interesting that she was the one who obviously filed divorce. We've talked and covered the J-Lo divorce for quite some time. So has everyone else. But yeah, that update has come out. And so she is relieved now. She's in a better place now that she is filed for divorce, is what they're also saying. We don't know who the source is. I love an anonymous source, but...
Well, I saw the same source also said that Ben Affleck, or a similar source said that Ben Affleck had a darkness inside of him that just can't be repaired. But from what I heard about I read about the J-Lo stuff, it was she didn't want the divorce, but it was clear that he was checked out of the marriage and wasn't interested in putting in the effort to work through their issues. And she wanted to find a way through it, and he was done. And then he was rumored to, now that it is official, he was rumored to be dating Kick Kennedy.
Who is that?
Kit Kennedy, she's the daughter of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. So RFK Jr. and Cheryl Hines, their daughter, Kit Kennedy.
You just painted the word like the weirdest family tree like for me. I couldn't even follow that. I wasn't listening.
RFK Jr., Cheryl Hines had a baby. Baby's name is Kick. Well, they call her Kick. What's her Her name is something else.
Oh, so she's interesting.
Kathleen. Her name is Kathleen, but her nickname is Kick. And so she's been hanging out with Ben Affleck, or they've been spotted together, and sources were like, ooh, they've been getting cozy lately. But now a new source came out in Us Magazine saying that he's not dating RFK Jr.'s daughter. He's not dating anyone right now. He knows Kick socially. Okay. They're friendly, but I mean, maybe they're just hooking up. I don't know.
People have also speculated that he's dating Jennifer Garner again and like trying to make that work.
Yeah.
But I'm like, let the man live. He's tired.
No, he does not need to go back to Jennifer. He literally just got out of going back to J-Lo. He needs to not go back to any more of his exes. He needs to just move on. Move forward. How dare you talk about Ben Affleck? We're only supposed to be ripping apart women in the press, Andy.
And I apologized, you beast.
You beast. Well, that's our Couples Corner update.
Yeah, I think our weird stories kind of ties in with our legal update a little bit. So if we've talked and, you've heard the word demure or mindful or I'm mindfuled out, I got it. For me, it came and went. I love Jules LeBron, but she just posted a video saying that she got beat to a trademark for very mindful, like the full phrase, however you say it in that order. And people have been coming to her defense because she posted this TikTok clip that's now deleted saying, look, like, I feel like I fumbled. Like, I feel like I was doing this for my family, like writing it, like for my transition. And now that someone's trademarked it, I feel like I am just losing. But people are coming to her defense about trademarks, because the person who filed it also tried to like file trademarks for like "Let's Ride" and a bunch of other phrases that he could not prove that he used it for any IP or any products. So you have to prove that you are going to be using it in active like business, but also the trademarks take like up to a year.
Yeah.
So all these people are like, Jules, if you file, you can own the trademark.
Yeah.
And you can prove it because you're going to be like merchandising and all these other things if you decide to do it. But it's wild to think like, for example, Hawk Tuah Girl.
Yeah.
Like these two things tie in together, viral moments. Did Hawk Tuah get trademarked? And like when you have a viral phrase, are we trademarking it in Eminem style?
I feel like it did get, Hawk Tuah did get trademarked.
I think they did because they put the merch out.
Right, but I think that was somebody else that came to her and they're like, we own the trademark. We want to collaborate with you. I might be
fumbling that.
No, but I do remember there was somebody else that was doing the merch and then they ended up working with her.
Oh, yeah, they worked with her.
Yeah.
But for this case in Jules, like someone else filed it. It takes a while. It takes up to a year to file a trademark, but like you can still do active business until the trademark is filed.
Yeah, she was being a little dramatic on that TikTok.
I mean, can you imagine this?
She was. Well, you can. I just thought it was funny because she was just like when Demure first popped off, and then she went on TikTok and she's just like, "Oh my God, I was putting out content. Everybody thought that I was so annoying because my content was so negative, and they just found my content so annoying." And then Demure came out, and now everybody's loving Demure, and I'm like, "Well, girlfriend, that went by real fast because everyone finds it annoying now." So that's her brand.
We got oversaturated.
Her brand has become annoying. But listen, there are other ways to monetize off of this. So like I would say, like, don't get defeated. Don't let this feel like a fumble. Keep it moving. You have other opportunities. She still has
time. I think she freaked out because she probably thought the trademark was like immediate.
Strike while the iron's hot. Strike while the iron's hot and keep pushing forward.
And speaking of pushing forward, is our verdict for the Tom Girardi trial in? Because our bets are still on.
Bets are still on.
You said Monday.
The jury went into deliberation on Monday, and they have not reached a verdict.
Oh, and
so as of Tuesday morning, they have not yet reached a verdict. I mean,
I said Thursday.
Maybe. We'll see. They're still in deliberations right now. It's gotten kind of interesting. I think the defense did a really good job of clouding the judgment of it being a very cut and dry, clear case, because they added a lot of elements, blaming the CFO and showing that he was stealing money, showing that even though Tom Girardi was taking money from the firm, he was putting in more than what he actually took. And we saw that displayed in court through evidence that was provided by the IRS. So I think that may have clouded the jury. Also, considering he took the stand, and I think there were maybe some people that found him charismatic, and he made some really bold statements when he was on the stand that I think definitely made it a little more cloudy of a decision for some of the jurors to make.
It is cloudy in that courtroom.
I mean, I think he's going to ultimately be found guilty on all counts. However, well, I don't know, maybe not on all of them.
I don't think it'll be all of them. But I think it'll definitely be till Thursday for a verdict.
Thursday? I mean, I don't know. I'm
3 days of deliberation.
I feel hopeful that by the end of Tuesday, which you guys are listening to this on Wednesday, this episode comes out on Wednesday, so there's a chance that a verdict may already be out at the time that you're listening to this, because we're taping this on Tuesday morning. But I mean,
I watch enough crime shit. I'm willing to put maybe Wednesday end of day, but Thursday morning we will have a verdict read.
Okay. I think before Thursday.
Well,
I don't think it's going to take that long.
That's all we have for y'all. Speaking of a verdict, this is the wrap on this episode. But
That's
again,
all she wrote.
if you that is all she wrote. If you haven't subscribed, you know what to do. You know who to hit. You know who to call. Call Zack Repeater for all of your dog problems, for all your PETA problems, for all your Haley Williams opinions, because he will definitely serve you up a hot plate of juicy couture.
I just love that someone named Haley Williams, and I didn't even remember her name, and she's talking about fame. Good for her.
LOL. Well, anyway, we'll see y'all soon. Bye.
See you Friday.